This is Sam Rush here from USATF Minnesota and also from down the backstretch. We're here with Mike Reneau at the .US Nationals Road Racing Championships. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Sam.
Can you let us know kind of how your season went and how you ended up here at the championships?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what you define as season, but the year for me kicked off in Houston, actually, which was not the best start to a year. I actually DNF'd for the first time in a marathon there, dropped. It was pretty rough conditions, windy, cold. Joe was there pacing me, actually, and pulled the plug on that race pretty early. And then just from that point on, just started to focus on my spring and summer season, which included, in my build-up to Grandma's Marathon, I raced the U.S. 25K Championships. And to qualify for this race, you have to place top 10 in the U.S. Road Championship race. I was 8th there. Joe was 7th. And so that's how I qualified for this race. And that was, I guess, a month out from Grandma's about. And then I finished that whole training cycle with the marathon at Grandma's, which went well. I ran 2:13, which is a PR for me. Placed 9th overall. Perfect day. And then since then, it's been it's been tough to regroup and get back on the horse with the hard training. I've since the past couple months have spent really just kind of trying to race myself into shape locally, racing a lot of the team circuit, USATF Minnesota team circuit races on the weekends, and then trying to get one more quality session in during the week, maybe a long run, and then just filling the rest of the week with base mileage, and we'll see how that works out. So.
Okay. So during the season, I've asked this question to Joe, but I'll ask the question to you. So it seemed like there was kind of a competition between you and Joe, but would you say that was, because guys usually finish like 1-2 in
Sure.
races.
Yeah.
Would you agree that it was a competition, or do you think it was more like Joe beating you and you kind of?
I can guess what Joe's answer to that was. I'm guessing he says it wasn't much of a competition, but no, it was a friendly, definitely. I mean, we trained together almost every day, and we joked a lot about that. And really, I mean, Joe's trajectory, he just kind of took off in early January, or before that. I mean, Club Cross, really, he qualified for the national teams there for NACAC and for Edinburgh, and since then he's just been kicking butt, and you know, I've been kind of just nipping at his heels at a couple of the races, but he's really, there's not much, I guess, for a rivalry to occur. You have to have equal wins on both sides, and he's just been, he's beat me, I think, in 7 consecutive races now or something like that, so
okay.
Depending how far back you go, but and the last time I beat him, I think, was the U.S. half champs in Duluth last year, so it's been a long drought.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. So do you have a goal for tomorrow in terms of, would you like to, end that drought?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'd always like to, I mean, we're friends and training partners, but I always would, I'd value a victory
Okay.
against Joe, and, more than anything because he's just a great athlete, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my goals for tomorrow, they're generic. I want to race hard. I know going into this that I'm not in the best fitness that I've been, and really for me this is as much about experience. This is the first year that they're putting on this event. Really cool concept. I'm excited to be involved with it, and I know that opportunities like this don't come up all the time, so I just didn't want to miss out on it.
Okay. Have you ever done a 12K before?
I've run a 12K twice at Bloomsday, and then once as a part of the LinkedIn Centipede team, actually, out of Beta Breakers. So this would be my fourth 12K, I guess.
Okay.
If you count the Centipede competition as being a race, I guess.
Yeah. So were you the head of the Centipede, middle, or?
Right in the middle.
Okay.
Right in the middle. We had 13 guys tethered together by a bungee cord.
Okay.
And that's, you all have to start and finish together. And we actually ran 36:30, so it was a pretty decent run.
So was your head whoever was the fastest person, or were you the fastest person, or?
No, we had a great group of guys out there. Jimmy Graybow, Ben Bruce. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I think they were on both ends, and we actually rotated mid-race. And so one person wasn't leading the whole time.
Okay. Do you have any superstitions or rituals that you have before a race?
Oh man. No, I used to get pretty uptight about preparation in general, and that's just kind of changed over time. And I guess one of the things that's been pretty consistent, that's had to evolve a little bit with the bib tags now, because the actual, the chips are on the bib themselves, and they caution you against crumpling the bib. But that's always been a tradition going way back to high school years, to crumple up the race bib before a race. But beyond that, I can't really think of anything. Nothing. I usually finish the evening with a glass of wine before a race, and that seems to be going well.
Okay.
But nothing really truly that qualifies as a superstition, I would guess.
Okay. One last serious question. There's been a lot of growth in the Twin Cities Track Club. You've added 2 field athletes, or 2 track and field athletes. Can you kind of tell us about that? What's the goal?
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of different goals, but certainly one of them is getting together as many great athletes as possible, and we're fortunate enough in the Twin Cities that they're pretty easy to come by. I mean, they're everywhere. We've got, I think now on the roster there are probably 8 athletes that have qualified for the Olympic trials in 2012, and that doesn't include Stephanie Price, who has also represented Team USA at Edinburgh and NACAC as well. So there's a lot of really good quality on the high end, but really we have depth all the way through the ranks, I think, and that's the big thing about our club, is that the hope is that we can kind of bring, get the entire community involved, either through some of the youth running programs and events that we put on, all the way up through the ranks, and just get people more excited about track and field and road racing in our community. And also, provide a venue for youth to promote a more healthy and active lifestyle among youth.
Okay, so it kind of fits into the idea of what this race today, tomorrow, of having connecting with the community, and
yeah. I mean, I really would like it to be a community-driven club. I mean, anybody that wants to get involved and do something, my hope is that they contact me and we do it. I mean, that's kind of the idea, and I think that's been lost a little bit with some of the the groups in the U.S. now. I think there's a lot of focus on professional athletes and elite athletes, and less of a focus on bringing those groups together on a more regular basis. And just the old school clubs back in the day, they were a club, and it didn't matter what your level of or your capabilities were. You all come together for workouts, for social events, and for races. So.
Okay. Some non-serious questions now. Lady Gaga applause or Katy Perry roar?
If you queued them up on your iPad right now, I don't know that I could tell you which one was which.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm proud of that, actually.
I know if you listen to K-Fan, but are you more like a meat sauce kind of goofy guy? A Dan Barrero more of a serious kind of chewing this things kind of suck, or duckies and bunnies like PA?
God, I don't know these guys, but I would say somewhere in the middle there.
Okay. That's the same question I've asked everybody so far. So far I've gotten 2 don't know anything, and 1 knows something. Rebel Alliance or Empire?
Oh, no. I know nothing. Know nothing.
Okay.
Chalk me up in the know nothing category.
Okay. All right. I think that's all our questions. Thanks.
All right. Yep. You bet.